Everybody, clearing. Okay, so this is going to be a Divine Feminine check-in. I'm going to have a look for DMs that want to see where their Divine Feminine is at. So thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see for the Divine Feminines today? What are the DFs thinking about the connection and their person? What are they feeling on the heart space? What are they feeling for their person directly? What are the DFs wanting to manifest? What are the DFs' actions at this time they are consciously or inadvertently taking towards union? What is the biggest challenge for the DF at this time and the solution? Also, what is the energy in the near future? And what can the Divine Masculines see? What is a priority for the Divine Masculines to see at this time? And some advice for the DMs watching this about their incredible DFs. Welcome here, DMs that want to watch for their DFs. All right. What are the Divine Feminines thinking of the connections right now? Oh, okay, 10 of Cups, that you are their happy place. This connection is their ideal in every single way. And grief, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So there does seem to be some nostalgia is what I'm getting from this, because they're speaking of times, idyllic times gone by, losing something. And this absence makes the heart grow fonder. What do the masculines need to know about that right now? It's all in how you look at it. So masculines, you could be triggered by this and think that your DF was needy in this energy, or you could see it as though, you know, two magnets want to stick together. They're designed to come together. And that pull is the magnet calling its other half. Something like that. What is the advice for the masculines? Passionate new understanding. On the third eye, this flame. You can really look at this into you energy that your feminine exhibits and holds and has from the beginning, I just heard, in a brand new way that becomes a blessing, not a curse, friend, not foe. This is part of the healing that says, I am worthy, right? As Divine Masculines, you have to believe that you are what your Divine Feminine sees in you in order for you to qualify how much they love you, how much they're drawn to you. You have to see that in yourself in order to believe it. This is very telling on the third eye that you're starting to understand that that passion is an energetic truth. It's a tell that the connection is real. But if you're looking at it, this is my card of the free will and deciding, if you're looking at it through wounding, you're going to get that wrong. It's going to feel off-putting. You're going to say, anyone who's into me is crazy, and you're going to put your hand up. But this is flipping that script and realizing your DF might just be onto something. I heard something monogamous, something rare, something trustworthy. What are the feminines thinking about the Divine Masculines? Patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order and transformation. So the feminines know they are going through a transformation, but they also see you going through a transformation, masculines. The Death card talks about necessary endings and having to have patience while all these cycles close out. In many decks, the Death card is also the birth, death, rebirth. And so there is a promise that with patience, this will come back around like it's done many times already in the connection. but that for every cycle that begins and ends and closes out and is navigated, the divine feminines are dropping into patience, knowing that it's all for a higher purpose. Each time that happens, there is rhyme and reason in the cyclical nature of these connections, in the progress, in the layers of the onion. What do the masculines need to know most about this? Where there's a will, there's a way. This can be the confusion. So many options, different ways of interpreting it. And this one cup of love in this reverse or inverse like this, the Seven of Cups points to that path right through the middle. That is the path of unconditional true love. What is the advice for the masculines? Gone but not gone. So whatever's happening right now, this cyclical breath and pulse, there's an inhale and exhale, a heating, a cooling, a push and a pull. And right now there's something that you're being guided to realize isn't a deal breaker. These connections do weather any storm, and it feels like something that is threatening to put distance or time or space into the connection isn't meant to be an all or nothing. It's kind of like that peekaboo energy where you're playing peekaboo, but the thing is on the other side of the sheet and it's not really gone. It's kind of like that. Just because it's out of sight, out of mind, or apart in some way does not mean that the connection is not there or valid. So masculines, definitely learn to see these things in patient terms and see how patient your feminine is with this kind of endurance with your connection. What is your feminine feeling on the heart space at this time about the connection? Judgment. So this is the Revelation card. This is very biblical. It also speaks of second chances. It's the resurrection. It's rising from the dead into the new lives. And so the feminines know that this connection, the journey they've had with you, has breathed new life, a whole new level of existence. They are forever changed. And I look down and we get the card of change. This says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So yeah, this patient becoming, the revolutions of this process, the revelations that happen with the revolutions. But the feminines very much feel like their hearts are being tempered by this rite of passage, the different cycles that happen, the different revelations that come in through each one of these near and far experiences in the connection. What do the masculines need to know? The same death card in the birthing process, or birth, death, rebirth. Even the winter, there is a dormancy and then new life in the spring. So nature has these cycles, and true love connections also go through these cycles. That's why we have in wedding vows through good times and bad, sickness and health, all that stuff, because they have to weather this kind of process. What is the advice for the masculines? Step out of your comfort zone, but this is about making a choice. This can represent travel. There's a globe there. It can mean that you've made a decision regarding travel or not, distance or not here. And so I'm getting from this birth, death, rebirth cycle that not all is lost, that even if there is some kind of spaciousness coming in mentally, emotionally, physically in the connections, that you can still choose which camp you're in for whether or not whatever's happening needs to be a deal breaker for the connection or not. We're seeing this gone but not gone energy. So you're very much being reminded that home is where the heart is, masculines. Yeah. And on the heart space here, it keeps coming back to these two counterparts. What about the feminine's view of you on the heart space? Surrender and courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So your divine feminine is dropping into the sweetness, into the surrender right now. They just love you. And so whatever they're facing in this connection at this time, they are tapping into courage. They're tapping into the inner strength to face whatever challenges are happening in your connection with confidence right now. They are not feeling like they have to fear at this time. They know that they've been in this position before in your connection regarding something, and things have played out in a positive way. And so in their heart of hearts, they know that you can handle anything together. What is the masculine most needing to see? My card of curiosity, the Daughter of Swords. So this can be communication with an open mind. This can be, I'm getting a flavor of text messages and internet messaging here, asking questions, keeping in touch, bits and pieces of small connection here, interaction. There's some sort of curiosity that you can keep alive here instead of it being an all or nothing. But what is the advice? The advice is to say that your tactful, gracious Queen of Swords, Divine Feminine, is able to contemplate anything that's a truth. We've got the Daughter of Swords to the Page of Swords, or sorry, the Queen of Swords, and it's going from you, Divine Masculines, communicating, which is the swords, this is thoughts and actions and words, to the Divine Feminine here, who is able to process anything that you would share. So it feels as though there's a message here, masculines, to communicate if you feel guided to, that your feminine can have a little bit of time here to contemplate something that you can bring new into the connection. And it looks like they will be open to whatever it is. I'm seeing that card that I see so often in tarot readings. If I asked you to stay, would you go? And so there seems to be something that you would like your feminine to affirm or confirm to you, but you are holding back asking that. And this is, ask them. This is ask them, masculines. And it looks like they will give it thoughtful consideration. What can we see for the manifestations the feminines want to have here? Humility and honesty. I can always expect, or can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So feminines right now are learning that fine line between needing to know anything externally and just really needing to know where they stand at any given time, how they feel, what their preferences are, and not buying into devil energies. The Strength card comes in when we're overcoming those devil energies, and here the beauty is taming the beast. There is a deep knowing. This is a very deep hug for masculine and feminine here, and there is a profound knowing that deep in their hearts they know the truth. No matter what the circumstances or surface looks like, your feminine absolutely knows and trusts that their heart is telling them something accurate about the love they truly feel for you, masculines. What is the masculine needing to see? So decisions. The Five of Wands can be external advice, a lot of people being involved, commitments, obligations, duties. In the inverse like this, it really is about you deciding what would really be best at this stage of the game for you, your happiness, your choices, not listening to all this external stuff, but really deciding what your honest truth is. It looks like your feminine just keeps wanting to find the good energy, the good feeling through the midst of it all. I saw 1331. But yeah, masculines, this is a period of time for you to also really discover what sits well with your soul, and then to let go of sweating the small stuff that would be external, popular opinion, continuing to not be too bothered or be unbothered at all, like in general, about what others have to say. Obviously, take it under advice if it does sit well with you, but this is not about living your life according to advice of others. It's really do what makes you happy. I posted something on my Instagram today that was talking about don't get the days back. Go with what makes you happy. And I said, I posted it saying, not Band-Aid happy, authentic happy, obviously, but yeah, sort out what is a fit and what isn't, even if it's counterintuitive, masculines. What is the advice here? Drop the guard. drop the guard, and everything doesn't have to be such hard work. You don't have to prove yourself. Your soul is so worthy of a love like this. When is enough enough? That's the message in this card, masculines. Your feminines feel like, you know, they pretty much, there's nothing these connections or the timing or anything could throw at them that would cause them to doubt the love. You know, we've been through the ringer, and the feminines know what love is. They know what their own wholeness is. And they do know what home feels like, that magnetic pull to home base. And yeah, masculines, you're being asked to drop the guard and really find that home within you, and let your material realm, let your physical circumstances reflect your sense of home, the direction your heart is telling you to go in. What can we see for the actions the feminines are moving in at this time? 7 of Pentacles and doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. So right now there is a waiting period. The 7 of Coins is waiting for fruit to bear or crops to ripen. Sometimes we don't know what seeds were planted, and we're waiting to see what they'll even be when they flower or fruit. So feminines are less apt to need to know the answers and be attached to a specific outcome. With doubt here, they're trusting that this garden has been watered and fertilized accordingly, and that good things will come. But right now their actions are to be present, to be patient, to be in this moment and not need to know how it will turn out, but to fully surrender and trust the process. What do masculines need to know? Yeah, you don't know all the answers either. The sun in the inverse, this is about not necessarily seeing a plan forward. You can't be sure externally or with divine timing what is going to happen. None of us know if this is actually our true counterpart until that magic click that makes it mutual and the timing aligns and both have that undeniable knowing at the same time. Until that happens, you know, another opportunity can be that these connections have closure because both finally realize what the lesson was that was magnetically drawing people together. And once that lesson or that one sentence or that one experience is had, it neutralizes the whole connection. So it can go multiple ways, but the magnetic pull means it's unfinished business. And so you don't need to know the answers either, masculines. You just need to know that there is a reason that this person with this unfinished business, this magnetic pull, is in your life. And so that's a beautiful inquiry or question to have, is what is the lesson in this? Not why is this happening to me, but what is this here to show me? What am I learning? Where have I come from? Where am I now? Where would that mean I'm headed with this trajectory of life lessons? What is the advice for the masculines? This is beautiful because this is like can be player energy, one night stands, unbridled passion. You're getting a handle on your sexual impulses and lust, masculines. So this is really deepening towards fidelity, monogamy, spiritual love, tantric love, committed love. And so, yeah, you also don't know where it will all go, but when you tune in with discernment to what you are actually ready for, where you're actually at, there is no such thing as temptation because you know yourself and you know if something's a fit. You don't have to dabble or try it to be sure. You can just know. We're releasing the need to know all the answers, and that does come from knowing what is. We don't have to know what the isness is going to unfold into. But we do need to be very, very present with the now. And that is what I'm seeing here, is everybody is becoming much more aligned with what their truth is in the moment as we speak at this time. And that safety, that grounding into the energetics is bringing in a new sense of security that the superficial, mundane world cannot safeguard against. You know, we can hang on to material things all we want, but at the end of the day, everything in this dimension is temporary. the thing that will never lead us astray is our heart. So yeah, this is both aligning with heart. What can we see for the biggest challenge for the feminines at this time? Trust and Queen of Pentacles. So trust says, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. That's the heart. The heart is our inner voice. And this Queen of Pentacles, this is the card of the home. So for some feminines, their biggest challenge is knowing if they are making the right decisions for this happy, healthy home, this sovereign path in their lives, and trusting. This is a deep exercise. There's something in the energy right now where the feminines have or will be making decisions, and they're being asked to trust their own knowing, even if it defies logic, even if it doesn't seem to align with what's going on in the 3D with these connections, masculines. The biggest challenge is the feminines staying the course and staying true to what they know they need to be doing, regardless of how they think that looks or doesn't look in the material realm. What is it for the masculines? Wheel of Fortune. So there's something that's about to happen in your connection on your side of the energy, masculines, that is going to align with this unwavering faith and trust that your feminine has. You're going to be getting a sign. You're going to be getting the granddaddy of all signs I just heard. For some, granddaddy is a cue. Anyways, so masculines, divine intervention, your abundance coming in, your abundance might be part of this Wheel of Fortune turning. You may have reached some kind of a goal. You may have reached some sort of a marker. Something either energetically or materially is coming to a level of completion. And your feminines trust their intuitive knowing that there is alignment here in this connection is preparing them to align with you whenever this thing happens in your reality. So whatever this blessing is that is coming, you're not going to be able to mistake it, masculines. And your feminine doesn't know what it is, but they do know that it's on its way. They do know that the divine timing is going to bring in clarity here, one way or the other. What is the advice for the masculines? Here's that death and rebirth. So there's the death card for the third time in the inverse. These connections are going through major transformations right now. So there's something playing out that you don't necessarily see right now, masculines, that is ending the last remaining ties to things that are not genuine or authentic to you. And this Wheel of Fortune is coming in like the cleanup crew I just heard to bring in that transformation. So there can be a rebirth here with your feminine. So there's something playing out that is in divine timing. I just heard a divine detour. So you might find that you're being pulled away in some way right now, and it's counterintuitive for the connection, but rest assured it is ushering a rebirth. It's heralding a rebirth coming in. What is the solution for the feminines having to really dive into the trust and faith at this time? Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. 7 of Cups. There's so much on your plate right now, feminines. I want to speak to the feminines here. You might be feeling very overwhelmed, and you might be thinking, what am I doing with my life and these decisions that I've made on this journey with my karmic situation, all of it. There are so many things that you are sorting at this time. And you know, the ironic truth here is you're the common denominator, feminines, and your heart is geared for progress. And this mess, this hot mess you find yourself in right now is progress going forward. So laugh about it, you know. Whatever, no matter how improbable, impossible it seems for you right now, feminines, the ironic, God's honest truth is that whatever you're dealing with is exactly the doorway you need to go through to have the love you desire, that you're calling in. And so, you know, you can be like, okay, good one, illusion. Like that one seems like a 20-headed monster right now, but you can just laugh in the face of it because you know that as you deal with that 20-headed monster, divine feminines, that behind 20-headed monster number one is your happiness. And so laugh about it, make light of it. What do the masculines need to know? Yeah, around the eclipses, there has a new portal been opened up that you can rest assured is going to split the difference between whatever your concerns were, whatever your feminine's concerns were. The two of you and your alignment has opened a probability that allows for this integrated future path or now emerging path with the two of you. So you have been pulled away or will be getting some kind of a divine assurance or blessing or awareness coming in, and your feminine has their plate really full with things that don't necessarily look direct route to union from their side. But masculines, this is direct route to union together. So you're both in tandem doing something. It may not be exactly evident what those two sides of the coin are up to, but at this time, it's all divinely guided. So really trust that, masculines. What is the advice? So we're literally getting this Nine of Swords. It can be sleepless nights, anxiety. The advice is just know your feminine is feeling this. There's a feminine on this card. And so your feminine might be very emotional right now with a lot on their plate, with whatever's going on for you right now. Your feminine is sort of has the emotional stigmata for the connection at this time. And yeah, your feminine might be shedding tears. Your feminine might be having some big challenges. I want to get a little bit more advice. What is the best thing that the masculines can do in light of this emotion that the feminines are feeling? Not judge it, I just heard. Embrace it this time. See the sweetness in it. Just know that they are your emotional polarity as well. We have ancestry, artistry, expression, community, and celebration. So there's something about the two of you being bridges. This is a stargate in community and, preparing for community involvement and joy. This can be, dancing and celebrating and feasting and expressing and bringing together creative components. And so, yeah, there's something that your feminine knows about or feels is amiss, or they feel the potential available here for the two of you to be very integrated and primary in your community. And there is some grieving, there's some sadness here about the loss of potentially an opportunity for celebration together. So your advice might be to acknowledge that, masculines, to understand that if you're feeling this emotionality, that your feminine is as well, and it's okay to say so. It's okay to acknowledge that. At least to be aware that your feminine is feeling something really deeply right now that they're having trouble processing. I'm getting a strange message. I mean, not strange, but unique. I haven't channeled this one. With all the things going on the feminine's plate right now and humor, whatever this community celebration is that the feminines are feeling remorseful or distraught about, whatever that is, don't be any factor that adds some of this confusion right now. Sometimes I get the messages that the counterparts need to really handle their own energy, but I'm getting distinctly here to just kindly acknowledge to your feminine that they have a lot on their plate right now, if you're so inclined, masculines, and that you care. Beautiful. What can we see for the direction of the energy in the near future? Wow, the Fool. So this is a brand new uncharted territory here. I'm looking right at this portal that opened that's divinely guided at this time, and we get purpose. I know what I'm here to do. in the inverse. So right now there seems to be a focus on, for the feminines and you masculines, really dialing in. What is it that you are feeling called to do in this next cycle? There's going to be some new life coming in. I'm seeing little plants growing and shoots forming and leaves pushing up from under the soil. So there's something emerging right now for both, because this is in the shared space about life purpose and path going forward here, and maybe a little uncertainty about what that's going to look like. What do the masculines need to know about this? Yeah, there is some advice here to walk away from anything that has not emotionally fulfilled all these broken hopes and dreams and wishes, to be really practical about, I'm seeing that meme again that says, do what makes you happy. The days won't come again, or the days, whatever, you get it. That's what this is talking about. It's like, live with no regrets, masculines. Don't be chasing things that are potential. Really just sink into what can and is and will be happy and real, and walk away from emotionally unfulfilling things. That includes heart walls and being too guarded against love. You don't have to have it all figured out, masculines, to be in this more lighthearted, free from this emotional turmoil or wounding or trauma. You can say it's okay not to know, and you can show up in that space with transparency. What is the advice? Yeah, justice is on the table. It's not in the upright. So something is progressing. Any legal matters for you or your counterpart that are in the works, there is justice on the table. It's coming. Some readers would say that justice in the reverse means that something won't work out for you. Whoever gets the justice card, it might indicate that something is not beneficial in your favor. But I'm not entirely getting that. Yes, something might not turn out the way that you hoped. That could be the blessing in disguise that we saw with the Wheel of Fortune. So if something doesn't pan out the way that you hope, just know that it's divine intervention right now, masculines. But the bigger message I'm getting here is that justice is on the table, and it's just about to play out. Like, it's so close. So close. So if you're having anxiety about things like the nick of time or down to the wire or that kind of pressure cooker, or feeling like things are unfair or near misses or ships crossing in the night, it does feel like something you don't see coming is going to illuminate, and it will make sense in time. So it's all part of the destined path that allows for this purpose to emerge. I'm just going to get one more card for the feminines regarding this purpose card. Sensitivity. The frequency of sensitivity helps us to open to the world of subtlety and detail while anchoring in a structural foundation, thus supporting us to become more fully multidimensional. Yeah, whatever's going on right now, feminines, it is bringing in a structural, material realm foundation for success here, a much needed foundation. So whatever your masculine is up to, whatever you're up to, feminines, it's all for the benefit of this future connection in the most stable, grounded, authentic, true, realistic way possible. And so your sensitivity can see things in that light at this time. So if you're confused or overly emotional by anything going on, ask that specific question in meditation or prayer and say, tell me, illuminate the subtleties of what's happening right now and show me how this is supportive of the love that I'm calling in. What can the masculines see? Originality. The frequency of originality supports our capacity to be unique and original creators of unlimited possibilities in every moment. I just heard change on a dime, change on the fly. You don't have to do anything that you've said yes to even a moment before if it's no longer aligned with your heart. You are an unlimited original creator, and possibilities can change in every moment. You don't have to do anything Just because you said you would yesterday does not mean that you have to today or in this moment. You are a free spirit. You are free in every moment. The Fool, this is that leap of faith. The freedom travels lightly. There is no binding. We can change our mind. We can change our plans. We can change our action. And we can be sensitive to that moment where it's no longer beneficial in the highest for us to continue a particular thing. It can come out of nowhere. It can be a thought. It can be an opportunity. It can be an awareness. And it can change everything from moment to moment. That actually is not as insecure or fickle as it sounds. When we give ourselves permission to go with the flow like that and to be very honest with what our heart actually says at any given moment, that is one of the most deep safeties we can ever have, because we're not doing it just to be destructive. We're doing it because we know that it sits well with us, and to go forward and not do what our heart is telling us will create lifelong regret. Point blank. And so, yes, people who can do this kind of heart-led maneuvering are so trustworthy indeed. All right, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.